with basically clearing Bubble Mountain and finding high jump boots, and Manashne going through high jump lists and having a little bit of movement hang-ups as a result, and just finishing a minute behind Darko, and then Darko having some deaths in game 2, making a play that's pretty standard for him of skipping the top half of Wrecked Ship, and Manashne finding charge there, also making some of the difference there. But the runners are off for game 3, and so here is the point where I guess we think about what item do we think the runners are going to find here other than Morph Ball at the start. Manashne having a little bit of trouble again with the Moonfall, getting it there on the backup. If he holds angle down, he actually would make it through that platform, but instead bonking it. Darko with his gap skip hitless again. Just such a cool strat. I'm a fan, so I'm going to mention it every time. Before we get there, I'm going to guess high jump boots. Manashne really wants high jump boots. Let's give him some high jump boots this season. Let's do it right off the beginning. It's probably an E-Tank, but we're going to have to wait because first it's Morphing Ball for both runners. E-Tank, of course, the most probable at 14 out of 33 actually, 14 out of 33 possibilities. Reserve Tank, the second most at 4. Everything else, 1 out of 33. Both runners going down the pit early, getting their power bombs. Going to open up the option that neither of them will probably take to go check Billy Mays. But we'll see what is in the ceiling shortly. $14 and $31 indeed from Doogie MacGyver, because it cannot be suits, that's correct. And again, just like the last seed, the item is bombs to accompany Morphing Ball. And so it also can't be speed or screw, so it's actually 14 out of 29, almost 50%. Manashne using the setup, having a little bit of trouble with the Rio boost, using the backup Gamer setup. And Darko opting to reset the room. We'll see if he gets it. Having a little bit of trouble with that Rio boost. What Manashne did was the Gamer that is closest to you, when you enter the room, is on a global timer. The second one is on a screen timer. And so you can actually wait for that first one to come the whole way around, and he'll be there, and you can just jump right into him and get the item. Darko having a little bit of trouble getting his bombs. And 2 sets of power bombs for the runners. They are going to have to go find some missiles. Manashne getting super missiles here to the left of the vanilla Morphing Ball location. Darko going back for round 3, I think, with the Rio. But a clean KO to start off round 3. Manashne on his way up the elevator. I think we will likely see him go for the Mother Brain location, but I could also see him skipping that, going and doing early Gauntlet and getting the 2 miners on the back end there. Yeah, he's skipping the Mother Brain supers plus power bombs. He's decided that is good enough for him, and he's gonna go do the climb. Darko following in his footsteps, also gonna head up the elevator, and we'll see if he elects to get the old Mother Brain tank missile miner item location. No, both the runners got their bombs out of the ceiling. It's just that Darko took a couple tries to get it. Manashne used the Gamer boost to get his. Darko is checking, and so we'll see. Manashne missed a pack of super missiles. Manashne down to the vanilla bombs. We'll see what Bomb Terizo surrenders before he stands up, but he's got a good one today. That is Charge Beam. So that is super sweet. That's going to be huge for our runners. They'll both, of course, find this unless, Darko inexplicably elects to skip it. But, yeah. Manashne this time making sure to not crash his supers into the iframes from BT. A good call. Quickly dispatching Bomb Terizo. We'll see if Manashne decides that he wants to go up to Gauntlet, or if he decides to go right down Terminator. I honestly, personally, prefer going Gauntlet here, but I know it's really variable between runners. It looked like he was thinking about it for a second, but it looks like he is going to go straight down Terminator. And Darko picking up his charge beam. We'll see. I know Darko really likes early Gauntlet based on how he has played in his other races. So we'll see what he chooses to do. I would say like 80 to 20 that he's gonna go for Gauntlet based on his indicated preference through previous behaviors. That's rough, Hubuchu. If you're hype, stay up and join us for a good race. Otherwise, go to sleep. And the VODs from these races will be uploaded within a day to YouTube, and you can check out any content you've missed in the Speed Gaming and Speed Gaming 2 videos, as well as on YouTube. And Darko, true to expectation, heading right up to Gauntlet. Manashne heading down into Green Brinstar. It's going to look like he's got a substantial lead. Ice Beam there, a huge pickup, charging ice. Really good. But we'll see what Gauntlet has for Darko. Getting his I was going to say his pants snatched, but he doesn't really have pants. He was a ball. He's just getting his ball snatched by that Yapping Maw. I guess Yapping Maw can also be a ball snatcher. So shoutouts to Cross Product. Cross Product also, the visionary behind the beautiful tracker that you see. So shoutouts to Cross. Manashne headed down to Edikuns. We'll see what's there today. But yeah, hopefully no more balls get snatched. That is bad news, especially with that rising acid. It can deal a lot of damage. Really, really hurt Samus. Just an E-tank though, so he's going to make up any health from that ball snatch. Got the reserve tank here for Manashne at the Edikuns. Not actual health, but oh gosh, Darko. Making good use of that health refill there. No snatchers there. Just a little bit of unfortunate movement and ending up putting Darko in the lava. But it looks like he is going to make it through okay. Just needs to wall jump here or get out with 9 health. Also an option. Yeah, he's going to take a little bit of a refill here from these Zebos. They should drop some big healths for him if he can kill him and not take too much damage. And see how much he wants before he goes. Hopefully he remembers to backtrack and check Terminator. That's a problem that I have when I go early Gauntlet. Sometimes I will forget to go to the right and check Terminator. I don't expect Darko to make that sort of kind of novice mistake. But we'll see. I want to see him turn to the right here before going down into Green Bryn. But it is easy to forget. But there have been times where I've found myself going to Torian, running down Terminator, and I get like speed booster, and it feels the absolute worst. So, please don't do that. Okay, yeah, Darko has remembered. Fortunately here it's just an E-tank, just another refill for Darko. But if you forget that location, it can be a pain to get back there. But yeah, Manashne does have a lead by virtue of not doing the early Gauntlet. But, Darko's going to do a good job of closing up some of that apparent lead. It looks huge right now, but that is part of how these things look when one runner does early Gauntlet and one does not. Gauntlet can really pay off huge, but at the same time, it does cost a lot of time. Manashne, super set up on ammo. Pun absolutely intended. He is going to have no trouble with this gate glitch. He had 18 shots at it, got it first try. Darko, Kojacting a super there, but now Manashne getting his speed booster, he's going to head right back down and do Waterway. So that's going to be good for him. A very, very super healthy seed. That was a great location for Manashne to check. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that one right now. And Darko about to get his Ice Beam. So we'll be seeing Darko chase Manashne around for the next couple minutes. Manashne this time electing to take the reserve tank. I don't know what changed, but his assessment of the item changed. So that'll be an interesting one to ask him about later. But let's see. So yeah, he can check Waterway now with just speed. He has enough health. I think he needs about 75 health to make this spark or something like that. But either way, 100 health is enough to make the spark, assuming he doesn't find some crazy way to take damage. Having a little trouble again with the short charge. This is just a simple one-tap you can do it as. You can do more exotic things if you wish. Many runners do elect to, but it doesn't need to be more difficult than a one-tap. Spark will stop if you hit 29 health, I believe. And that's what happened to Manashne, but he made it through. Took him 71 health, but we don't know how much of that he actually needed. I think he probably needed about 60 of that. Just an E-tank for him down there, but it's good to have Waterway crossed off. Both our runners going to be in big pink here in just a second. Manashne on his way out, Darko on his way in. Manashne probably, at this point with these items, I expect him to head down to Kraid. No grapple or space jump. He does have speed. He could go do wreck ship, but just 2 E-tanks, 2 reserves, no suits. And most importantly, no missiles. So Phantoon would be a real jerk. He would be very pissed off the entire fight. And no one wants that much flame rage. So I don't expect the runners to elect to go up to wreck ship early. I guess Darko does have five missiles if he wants to make that play. Manashne having a little bit of trouble with the menuing. It can be really awkward when you don't have missiles. But he can't do X Factor strats on Phantoon because he does not have Wave Beam. He could do the Special Beam Attack Ice, which is the Ice Shield. But if you've ever watched Low Percent Ice and how Ice Shield is used, that would be a very inconvenient thing to try to do on Phantoon. So, Screw Attack for Manashne. And yeah, Darko having a heck of a time on that wave gate. I was headed back to it, and then I saw the X Factor thing. Sorry. I know I'm talking like kind of slowly, kind of deliberately, but trying to commentate both screens here. But yeah, so this trick, I'll highlight again. This is a very difficult trick for many runners. He was 1 pixel too far forward, 1 pixel too far forward, bonked his head 1 pixel too far forward, bonked his head, and there it was. That was it. That was perfect. He was at the right X pixel on the last try, the first try with his last missile. So yeah, it's pixel perfect in the X direction. There's a little bit of leeway in Y, but if you can see any blue behind Samus's back, you're too far forward. But glad that Darko was able to get through that. Hopefully he doesn't... Okay, good. He didn't take a hit from the large hopper. Manashne on his way into Kraid, going to collect 2 miners once he dispatches Big Green Crocomire. And he's looking for high jump boots. He's looking for Varia. He wants to go right to Lower Norfair. And yeah, as expected, Darko is going immediately down to Waterway. We're going to see him get rewarded, kind of, with an E-tank, but, you know, something better than a reserve tank. But the real prize for Pink Brinstar was, of course, that speed booster. So, yeah, Darko really earned it. And he's going for the, not the 1-tap short charge, probably a 2 or 3 tap there. But nailing it first try, a really nice short charge from Darko. And Manashne already done with Kraid. I didn't even see if he got the quick kill. It looked like he did based on how fast that went down. And I didn't see what he got either. I think it was an E-Tank. We will see what the Frog Pocket holds today. I think it's got Varia. You know, I think this is going to be... Nah, it's an E-Tank. Wishful thinking, right? But that E-Tank is also going to be really good for our runners as they head down into Lower Norfair, or as they make the call to go back up and like brute force X-Ray and go to Wreck Ship. But I don't think we'll see either runner do that. I think we're going to see Darko tailing Manashne here. And again, that the lead Manashne has is largely a consequence of Darko's decision to do early gauntlet. But Darko headed right up Red Tower again. I guess, yeah. I do let myself forget how much of a penchant for early Wreck Ship Darko has. It's something that he's shown across multiple races, and no, it's worked out just fine for him. Manashne, that little guy takes 3 shots when you have ice. A little inconvenient, but you do have to shoot him twice to freeze him and once more to kill him, because that's Ice Beam for you. Spazer for Manashne, picking it up, not even thinking twice. So yeah, we have a route divergence between our runners. We will see what the Wreck Ship holds. Darko going in with, you know, basically a full 400 health. That's 10 hits, but Speed Booster is going to eat up some of that. And yeah, this here is Darko taking the 4 wrecked ship locations plus potentially X-Ray, versus Manashne taking the 7 potential Upper Norfair locations and a slightly cleaner path. Nice speedball there from Manashne. A really nice strat. It's a strat I'm kind of bad at. Having a little bit of trouble making his way up. Please don't freeze all those guys. That's gonna hurt. Just take a little bit extra energy there. But Darko making his way over, prepping for a wrecked ship entry just to reserve tank at ice for Manashne. Not what he wanted. And another nice short charge from Darko. Darko's movement has been on point for all of these games. Really, really nice play. We'll see what Manashne chooses to do here. I think it depends on how much he has in the reserves, whether he's going to try and make the play for Croc immediately or not. I think it's a good play headed for Croc. Yeah, so he's got 155. That should be enough for him to make Croc, but he wouldn't have a lot of health left. So yeah, he's gonna see what drops he gets here. He's got to watch out for those little Diskegas though, because those things will hit you hard. I think they deal 80 health, if I remember right. It might be 60. But yeah, he is gonna make the play. He is going for Croc. I hope he's able to make it. I don't know if he saved. And Darko just about to make it over to Fantoon. It's going to be close for Manashne, but he's got his reserves. And oh, so close. He bonked, and the bonk cost him. I don't know where his save was. It appears that he is not feeling good about it. He's got to get that started. Yeah, there's no action in the SRL chat, so hopefully he pushes yes return to game here shortly, and we can watch this one continue. Yeah, so we're gonna get that restart. That's a very tight run on 160 health, but luckily Manashne knows where the items are, what he needs to get, and we'll see how he handles this moving forward. I mean, honestly, the best race result we can have for the most compelling race here is, you know, this Fantoon not playing out for Darko. Of course, no one wishes that, but it would, be the most compelling thing. Hopefully Darko's safe, though. He's got 118 health. That is 3 hits right now. Now 4 hits that he can take. So I think he's in good shape. And yeah, there Fantoon is dead. Manashne nailing his Moonfall there. Heading back down to restart things. Unfortunately, that's going to set him back. That's an 18-minute death. So, that is rough to see. In the previous games, we've seen Manashne take that save across from high jump boots prior to doing the hell runs for exactly that reason. And I think just the pressure of having a game 3 maybe weighing a little bit on the decision to not take the time to make that save and trying to force the play to Crockemeyer. But the silver lining is, of course, that he does, if he remembers, know which locations are worth and not worth. There's Gravity Suit for Darko, picking up his first suit, the first suit we're seeing of this game. So yeah, Manashne probably was about 3 or 4 health short of making the door transition to Croc. He was doing a hell run down to Croc, and he died to death, unfortunately. But yeah, Gravity Suit, 25% of the time it's in wrecked ship. We can't be surprised to see it. But here it is, Darko locking in his results so far. He wants to take that safety save. Doing the same thing we've seen from the past couple races where he had some trouble with the spike room last time. We'll see if the Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter and Super Mario Bros. 2 has helped him out any with his spike room navigation, or if maybe just Gravity Suit helps. But Gravity Suit will not reduce the damage that he takes from the spikes, because it does not affect environmental damage sources, but it will affect enemy damage. Yeah, Manashne took an 18-minute death, so he is running back what we have already seen from him. He was actually in a pretty nice position, but just had a little bit of trouble there in Upper Norfair. And Darko saying, I've already got gravity. I don't need grapple. And I mean, once you have gravity, the chief use of grapple no longer necessary, but I don't know. I don't know if I think grapple is worth the minute and 15 seconds that it probably costs. A nice ceiling clip there from Darko heading up toward Attic. It's a nice movement strat. It's useful if you don't have wave beam and you're coming through there. It can make it easier than shooting out all the blocks. But just nice overall. But I think that skipping grapple probably is the right choice there, but it's fairly close actually. Sure, I can try and explain SSBM, Leo. So what we have here is an item randomizer tournament wherein all of the items in Super Metroid are at the same locations they would normally be, but they're shuffled amongst one another. So items are where items would be. They're split up into major and minor items. Minor items being missiles, super missiles, and power bombs. Major items being everything else. All of your suit upgrades, beam upgrades, energy tanks, etc. And then they are distributed within some constraints among the locations they would normally be, and it becomes more of a puzzle game. The runners are given an identical randomized seed at the start of each race, and they compete against one another to see who can solve the puzzle of completing Super Metroid most quickly. This is a best-of-3 match between Manashne and Darko. Darko on the left, Manashne on the right. And we are in Game 3. Each runner has won one game, indicated by the number of golden Samus heads by each's name. Manashne took a death about 18 minutes in. dying to Upper Norfair heated rooms. And Darko has not taken a death, but elected to go up Red Tower to go see Fantoon. And so, hopefully that brings you up to speed. Darko find an X-ray at Gravity. I missed what was at the reserve location, but it looks like Darko elected to skip it, so it was probably a tank variant. Manashne back to Green Brinstar getting his Ice Beam again. I imagine we'll see him skip Edicoons, which was just an E-tank if I remember correctly. Oh, Spring Ball. It was Spring Ball. Sorry, folks. But skipping Spring Ball, drawing the ire of the chat for sure. But, again, with bombs already and speed booster, I think technically the right decision. Interesting that we saw Darko not gamble on what was in the top half of the wrecked ship this time. We saw him go right up there. Normally he'll skip those majors. The true prize, Variasuit, for the runners, was not found yet, so that probably rests somewhere in Upper Norfair. Interesting, Manashne forgetting that Edicoons was a reserve tank and going back down. Second race was very good, but Darko took a pretty rough death in Lower Norfair, if I remember right, and had not saved since wrecked ship, and so that was a 15-minute death for Darko, and then he decided that Super Mario Bros. 2 and Street Fighter were more entertaining, and ran those for us instead. And that was also exciting. But games 1 and 2 were both fairly competitive games. Both these runners quite good. Be sure to give them a follow. Darko, of course, does many games. Manashne, mostly Super Metroid right now. I don't know what his plans for the future are. Manashne having a little bit of trouble going back to get his speed booster. Of course, he knows he really wants to get that. That shot looked almost right. It was 1 pixel too far forward, but that was the right X pixel. Getting it on the 4th try, something like that. 3rd try, I don't know. 1st try. Darko, interestingly, going straight into Meridia, going to Mama Turtle. A play that we've seen a few runners make. I don't know if he's going to continue with going to Mama Turtle or not. Or with doing Meridia past this. Yeah, Manashne on 63 health, needing to be a little careful, but foregoing some of the E-tanks. This is going to be interesting to see how he handles it from this point, because without the E-tanks, the hell runs are going to be that much more difficult. So I think we may see him elect to go do Kraid, and then maybe go up Red Tower and hope that Darko didn't, and hope that wrecked ship is good. Because in this logic, it's more on the player who believes they're disadvantaged to go to wrecked ship first. And so I think that is a likely choice for Manashne in his situation, thinking that he has to be behind. And of course we see that he is. That death was just too costly too early. I mean, a death of that amount of time is going to be a huge swing in any race at any point in time. but getting set back all the way to the beginning at minute 18 is it's a tough one to fight back from, so he's going to have to make some gambles. And Darko making his way cleanly through Meridia, through Botwoon, and all the way over on his way to Dragon already. He has good max ammo, but, you know, an okay ammo situation right now. But shouldn't have too much trouble dispatching Dragon. And I wouldn't say that Manashne was gambling too much early. I mean, in so much as we're playing, you know, a randomizer, the runners are playing a randomizer. They were, you know, gambling with where item locations would be, but his early pathing this game was very fundamentally sound, very, you know, optimized expected value play. You know, it was the play of a runner who thinks that their skill is on par and their decision making is on par with their opponents. Manashne for this match, a rare round 4 with Kraid. Kraid will win this one. Will get to stand up. Will get to spike the punch. Prom is ruined. Or it's a lot better. I don't know. Depends how you assess your proms, I suppose. But we'll see. Hopefully, quick work of Kraid from this point. A little weird not having any missiles, but Manashne makes pretty quick work of Kraid after he stands up. Darko makes quick work of Dragon and picks up an energy tank as his prize. Both runners getting their energy tanks. Darko now at 6. Manashne just 2, but of course he'll be picking up some more here in the near future. Darko with a Shine Spark to escape Dragon there. And he's going to have to he's going for the IBJ, not comfortable with the very tight wall jump to get out of here. It's okay, it's a tricky wall jump. It's basically the same as Alcatraz. And so we'll see where he elects to go from here. See if he decides that clearing out Meridia is the right call, or if he decides to go and check out some Norfair locations. Honestly, if I'm Darko and I'm in this situation 33 minutes into a race, looking at Kraid and Ridley to go, I'm probably going to check Sandpit, forego Shock Tool and Plasma, and then I'm going to head right for Kraid. If he decides he wants to check Shock Tool, he would need to do the Sealing Ice Clip through the Puyo, which, of course, you know, is entirely fine, and it's a viable way to check Shock Tool, but at the same time, it also is a frame-perfect trick that that can be difficult for some runners. So I don't know Darko's level of comfort with executing the Puyo Ice Clip. And even still, Shock Tool's a very slow location to check. I don't think we will see him go there right now. Manashne making his way back down to Croc, getting a little bit of revenge on the location, taking out his frustration on Red Kraid. And we'll see what he gets as his bounty here. And some intended strats for X-Ray. Darko deciding that Wave Beam, absolutely worth the effort. a little bit of some furious bomb jumping here to get up there and get his wave beam. But he's got it. Passing on the super missiles there. I think it's a good call. He's already got 30 of them, and he's got Charge Ice Wave at this point. Which, honestly, Charge Ice Wave probably the 3 most important beams. Plasma's great and all. Sorry to all of the Spazer apologists, but I think Charge Ice and Wave is where it's at. And we're going to see Manashne is going to go and check Grapple. Got his space jump. And we'll see if Varia is down here at Grapple. This could be a way for Manashne to fight his way back into this one. If exactly this location is Varia's suit. I mean, he's still behind, but we have a race on our hands at that point. And it's an E-tank, but of course not an unwelcome one. So at this point, I think the play for Manashne is stick to your guns and head on over to Bubble Mountain. And cross your fingers and hope to find Varia. Because in his position, he's got to make some gamble. Something has to pay off. Yeah, Varia could absolutely be at Shock Tool or Pedestal. The same thing there. Plasma. It could be at any of the Bubble Mountain locations. And I believe those are the only unchecked locations right now. So it has to be at one of those 5 places. Darko making reasonable work of Kraid, but Kraid making better work of Crom. He's a little damaged. Got 400 health left. Darko neutralizing the threat pretty quickly, but Kraid DLC did get to stand up and got to be showcased there. Manashne doing a little bit of farming. It's a tough farm there with Ice Beam in the heat. It's tough to make too much progress there. So I think it's good that he abandoned that one. I hope that Varia is not at Turtle Rock and is, in fact, in the Super Metroid map somewhere. Item randomizer logic dictates that it must be somewhere on the map, so hopefully this is not one of those very, very rare Turtle Rock Varia seeds. Manashne thinking about going and checking Speed Booster, then deciding that, okay, he wants to turn Ice off so that he can get up there and farm. And a pretty clean Batcave making his way up to the farming station. So we're going to see him fill up and make the most of his 4 E-tanks. Thankfully, because he already has Speed Booster, he's going to be able to make it in and out of Speed Booster with no problems. We'll probably see him farm up to, about 4 E-tanks worth. Darko, abandoning Meridia. I like the call. Making his way over to Ice. We'll see. Manashne finally getting those high jump boots that he's been asking for. Gotta feel great about it right now. Although, of course, still has to feel, a little rough about his position in this race. But he's gonna fill back up, have his high jump boots, space jump, speed booster, screw attack. He is a Varia suit away from Lower Norfair, And so I'm really crossing my fingers for Varia Wave and an easy lower Norfair traversal. Unfortunately, with gravity in Wrecked Ship, it's going to be tough for him to move back and forth across the map quickly enough to to make up the time that he's missing. But I think that is his best shot in this one. He's go. Yeah, he might check the reserve here first. At this point, probably the easiest thing, or not the easiest, but the quickest or the most efficient one for him to check. Sorry, because of how the map's laid out. But I think that no, this is the right path. Unfortunately, just a reserve tank. So, interestingly, he chooses to not reset because he only has so many tanks so far. But I think that this is going to cost him so much in time, just from the health drainage, that it probably isn't worth actually not resetting that item, even with only 4 E-tanks. Let's see. He's headed back to the save station, and a high five from our runners here. Almost. Oh, there it is. Our runners giving each other a high five there. Darko with substantially better gear. But he's going to go and check out that reserve tank for himself. He doesn't believe Manashne when he says it's just a reserve up there. He will find out all on his own. Manashne trying to make his way back up to the farming spot, and it looks like, oh, he was so close, and then he bonked the little farming bugs, whatever they're called, and took a death, but we know he's just recently saved. Thankfully, he didn't elect to save with his lower health, so I think we'll see him head right to Wave Beam and hope that it's Varia. I think, as weird as that is, I don't think that there's... I guess... I don't know what would be best for Manashne at this point. Darko's being fairly thorough this run, not gambling on a lot of locations, so he hasn't really passed anything up. He didn't leave the top of Wrecked Ship unchecked, but oh wow, we are dealing with a shock tool or a plasma Varia suit. So, yeah, strap in, folks. We might be seeing some shock tool. Unless I'm misremembering, I think the only outstanding locations for Varia are the 2 in Meridia. Varia cannot be in Lower Norfair, it cannot be in Criteria, and it cannot be in Blue Brinstar. An interesting farming strat from Darko here, kind of hopping back and forth. A little inefficient, but it certainly looks interesting. And Manashne, he has taken his plasma beam and he is hauling it out of there, getting out of those heated rooms, and I think we're going to see him head up to Wrecked Ship now that he has plasma beam that he found at the wave beam location. High jump boots for Darko. Of course, we knew they would be there, but he did not. He's got to be happy to see those. And Manashne, despite having plasma, picking up his Spazer. Objectively a mistake. Maybe he was watching the tracker, but he forgot that he had plasma. But he turned it back on, so he knew it was there. But power bombing those blocks out rather than shooting them, just show him who's boss. and making his way back up out of Norfair. We'll see how Darko continues to path from here. Let's see. Honestly, I think Manashne's best bet in this race might be that Darko gets confused. And I say that not tongue-in-cheek at all, just in the sense that doing 3 randomizers back-to-back can really, really, take on some mental fatigue aspects. And so it's possible that Darko might not remember that the only locations that he has outstanding beyond Crocomire, I don't think he's checked Crocomire yet this race, are X-Ray. I don't know if Darko checked X-Ray. See, this is me being fatigued from three games of commentary. 3 games, actually 12 games, because Darko's been giving us the game shuffle. But yeah, X-Ray is also a potential Varia location. So if this is a hit for Manashne and Darko goes back to and it is, wow, that is huge. Yeah, this is me. Sorry, I am trying to read chat. I have a few things on a few monitors right now. Yeah, the SRL and the game stream is on one, and the chat is on the other. I'm trying to move back and forth. So, yeah. Haul booty, Manashne. You need to make up some time. I think we will see him haul it straight to, somewhere. He's hauling it straight to wreck ship, I suppose. Interesting choice. It looks like he still has Ice Beam off. But, yeah. We won't be seeing Shock Tool unless Darko, like me, unlike chat, forgets about X-Ray. Sorry, folks. I swear I'm trying. I'm trying to, move back and forth between the chat and the races. Darko dispatching Croc about to get his space jump. Always a good pickup. But not the Varia suit he's searching for. Thankfully, well, I don't know. It's possible that Darko, I guess, Manashne's best bet is that Darko is like me, forgets about X-Ray, and goes right up into Meridia and starts doing Plasma and Shock Tool. And I'll take a second and shout out Wumpus on tracking right now. Looks like DYT Mook has moved on. Thank you for the tracking, DYT Mook. And say that Manashne, for better or worse, does have Spazer as an option. But I don't believe we'll see him ever turn it back on. Darko coming up empty on his Varia search, and Manashne prepping to do the speedball strat, missing it just by a little bit on the Fantoon entry, but he's got bombs, so it's not too big of a thing. With Charge Ice Plasma, it's not a free 2-round Fantoon, but I think it's a clean 3-round Fantoon going 2 missile, and then Charge Shot. But it might be barely a 4-round. I feel like I just tested this yesterday and I already forget the answer. I'm pretty bad at beam combos. And it looks like DYT Mook is back. So, welcome back and thank you to whoever is doing the tracking. Shout outs to those guys for doing a great job keeping track of both of our runners all night. So this is the big decision juncture for Darko. Will Darko go up into Meridia, which is Manashne's chance, or will he go over and do X-ray immediately and then just go dispatch Ridley? It's certainly, a tough call, but it looks like he is headed right for X-ray, so he is more on top of what's going on with the seed than me. I got confused, but yeah, he knows where he's going. He is headed right for his Varia suit. He's going to collect it. He's going to feel real good about it, and then he's going to go kill Ridley. And he has maintained his lead. Manashne making quick work of Fantoon. Darko getting that various suit, firing off a shot of consternation, whether trying to keep from getting jigated, got jigated anyway, or whether trying to censure the Chozo statue for keeping his various suit for so long. Only Darko knows. I think it was honestly a shot trying to move the gate. Manashne gets his gravity, and both our runners are in go mode at the same time, unfortunately. Manashne with 2 bosses to go. He has killed Fantoon at this point, as we would expect. Darko only 1 to go. There we go. Fantoon is dead for Manashne. And all is right, except Manashne, for whatever reason, grabbed Spazer. So, not consequential, but it is an item that will count toward his item percentage at the end of the game. Darko, no surprise, right back down into Norfair. I think we're going to see him take Frog Speedway right over and go down and do a super simple vanilla plus screw attack lower Norfair entry. So he'll even be impervious to the fireballs from the Namahaze. Very little to go wrong there. Okay, I see some mentions from the trackers that they're having a little bit of technical difficulty, each of them independently. And so, thanks to them for sticking with it and doing a good job. Yeah, Darko making his lower Norfair entry. Manashne heading down, presumably to do the same thing, to clean up things in the order of Ridley and then Dragon, just that being the most efficient route from here. But Darko with a sizable advantage just due to Dragon already being dead. Yeah, this lower Norfair tune is like a sweet jam. It's some, I don't know if I'll say it's the best Super Metroid music, because there's some really sweet Super Metroid music, but it is a great track. The soundtrack for this game is absolutely fantastic. It just does a great job of not being overly intrusive unless it wants to be, yet capturing the ambiance of each of the regions, you know, very, very well. I mean, the gameplay obviously is, you know, the number one thing, but it is, you know, at least a part of why this game has held up so great over, you know, 23 years now. And you know, the fact that in 2017 we're here and able to do randomizers on an internet that did not exist of a console game released in 1994 is just... It's pretty crazy every time I stop to think about it. And Manashne tailing Darko, coming down into Lower Norfair, both of them making the mad rush to Ridley. Darko in the lead. Darko, of course, without that death, having a better health situation, a slightly better ammo situation, and a better beam situation, has a clear advantage. But anything could still happen at this point. Ridley could be a jerk. Mother Brain could certainly be a jerk. That's an interesting conjecture, Southern Kip. I don't know if I believe it, but I want to believe it. It's... the internet was created because Super Metroid needed to be randomized. And the randomizers needed to be raced between people at non-local sites. You're onto something. We need to get Al Gore on it, but yeah, it is spoken. That now is fact. Little high five from our runners. They're in the spiky elevator shaft. Manashne doing a little bit of farming here before Ridley, as Darko blows through the Lower Norfair exit. Doesn't need anything, so he's not gonna, you know, bother stopping. He's just gonna haul all the way up to Torian and straight to Mother Brain. With his ammo situation and his beam setup of all of the beams, I don't think we're going to see him stop the ship or anything. So, I think he's looking at, you know, roughly a 110 for this. And Manashne, depending on how much farming happens right about now, is looking at, you know, a 114, so probably about 4 minutes behind Darko. But both the runners really doing a great job. Manashne just really taking... Or no, Manashne, sorry. Still has Dragon. 114, not quite. My apologies. It has been a long night. And Manashne with a fairly clean Ridley so far. Ridley mostly behaving. Needs to nail a few of these charge shots here to, no, or not even. Really just dead. Okay. Oh, well, that's very kind of you, Southern Kip. Enjoy the rest. Thank you for dropping by, and hopefully you're enjoying the race as much as I have been. It's been good. If you didn't get a chance, check out games 1 and 2 of this match. They were super sweet. And thank you, Ciela. I appreciate it. I'm trying. Commentating Super Mario Bros. 2 was not something that I expected to have to do, but my limited knowledge of the game was applied. I know Toad's fast, so that was good. Yeah, Manashne has now killed Ridley. Darko with, of course, all the bosses as marked. Manashne with the bosses that are marked, plus Ridley, still needs to go take care of Dragon. Most of Darko's lead at this point, a consequence of Manashne taking a death in Upper Norfair at 18 minutes. So he had to restart about, 18 and a half minutes into this seed. Yeah, as Darko makes his way one final time down to Torian, I will implore you one more time, please follow the runners, follow Speed Gaming 2, follow Wumpus and DYT Mook, our trackers, follow the chat, follow Cerberoth, who commentated Game 1 with me, and follow Bionic Link. He said he was going to join me for Game 3, but I suppose something came up. So, flying solo for this one, but that is A-okay. But yeah, follow all of the people. They're all super sweet and are all going to provide awesome free internet content for you with video games, mostly Super Metroid. Darko with all sorts of things. I don't know how exclamation Feasel is not a reasonable command in this. Someone needs to edit that in. But yeah, again, I'll emphasize a good point from JLZP5 is that the runners don't know where one another are and how the race has gone for either of them. So Darko doesn't know about Manashne's death, and Manashne doesn't know anything about Darko's progress either. And so, for both the runners, this has to be a nerve-wracking time. Yeah, Darko's saving 40 frames by saving right. A little bit of a meme, but it does save, 2/3 of a second. The game runs at 60 frames per second. It saves 40 frames, so 2/3 of a second. And the reason that facing right saves that time is that there is not a programmed standing up Samus emote, or not emote, animation. Emote Kappa. But there's not a programmed standing up animation for Samus when she is facing right, whereas there is when she's facing left. So if you see someone face left, they'll take a little longer to stand up. Darko setting up, going for the speed Zeb skip, getting it, but not able to charge the spark, getting the short charge. Darko's short charging has been on point all night. Really, really good stuff. Having a little bit of trouble with the Zeb skip though. Maybe we'll see him go back and get the speed Zeb skip here. Yeah, he's setting up for it again, going for the stutter 3, and not quite. So back at the standard, freeze and jump through Zeb skip, but a little bit of a hang up here. But overall, Darko's short charging has been superb, nailing it. First try there from Darko, and I cannot, I couldn't overstate how tricky that is, honestly. Like, that is a stutter 3-tap short charge across a door transition. It's a pretty tough trick. Manashne making his way over to Dragon as Darko starts up Mother Brain True. Mother Brain 2. Clearly there's no fatigue or anything. I'm just kind of rolling with it at this point. But yeah, Darko looking to finish things up. A pretty good health situation, taking a couple onion rings and a catch-up. Needs to be very careful with his health from this point. But I think he should be good here. Has gotten enough shots. Mother Brain was well behaved there after that catch-up, actually just setting his health up perfectly. But yeah, he was making us sweat a little bit with that catch-up. Very calculated on Darko's part. And Manashne trying to cook up a shrimp right now. Doing a pretty good job, getting a lot of swoops from Dragon. But just, nailing shot after shot. Has to be a little careful with his health, but I think he should be in a good situation. Just a consequence of having taken fewer E-tanks over the course of the run. And there it is. Dragon is down. That is all 4 bosses for Manashne. And he will be headed in short order over to G4. Darko not with the health supply there, the health reserves to make a stand-up glitch play. So we didn't get to see any stand-up glitch tonight. I'm a little sad about that. I was hoping, especially with the 100% chops that Manashne has. I know he's been grinding that category out a little bit. He's been on any percent lately, but I was hoping we get to see some stand-up, but it just was not to be. Runners were taking a little too much damage on Mother Brain, or were just not quite set up for it. It was all good. Manashne booking it over to Torian, just hoping that some ill fate along the lines of what has befallen him may have also befallen his opponent. Not to be the case, but all in all, he has played a very solid game. The lead that Darko has here that should, for all intents and purposes, hold up, generated mostly by just a little bit of suboptimal movement and a very tight, calculated, heated run down to Crocomire, and a decision to not save prior to doing some heated runs. There we see the red fishy. It is safe, it is sound, it is in its pond, it's about to explode with the planet, but, all's well with red fishy for now. Darko now on his escape, getting sniped by some French fries there. Those guys deliver. That Space Pirates, no shortage of French fries for those guys, but he gets his revenge. And see what style spark he goes for. He is going for the vanilla right side shine spark. It's a favorite. And Manashne taking the ship refill here. not a bad call. You know, health kind of medium. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get the ship high five because Darko boldly going to visit the animals. That is a bold call. The animals will die. The high five will be averted. But yeah, big props to Manashne for continuing after that death. I know we've seen runners in this tournament concede for worse reasons, basically, or with less severe losses. You know, props to Manashne for fighting through it and giving us a race, honestly. But I see Darko has finished in the SRL chat in first place with a time of 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 39 seconds to an immediate from Manashne, "Where did you die?" pretty reasonable. Darko, of course, responding, "Previous race or this race?" But yeah, GG to Darko. Congratulations to him. Darko will be moving on in this tournament. Unfortunately for Manashne and those who enjoy watching Manashne, this will be the end of his tournament experience. We'll see if he chooses to meme it out here and finish. But let me take a look at the bracket here. I think that Manashne had, or not Manashne, sorry, Darko has another match coming up. I believe, actually, I remember it is versus Alucard 2004. That should be a really good one to watch. So we'll have to watch for when he chooses to schedule that. Should make for a good race. And yeah, Manashne continuing. Any pauses we see are related to Manashne chatting in the SRL channel. Darko talking about now his almost 30-minute death in the previous race, and Manashne saying he took an almost 20-minute death this race. Of course, right off the bat, that was an unfortunate thing, but you know, big ups to Manashne for continuing in the face of that. Please, you know, follow the runners. They're both super skilled at this game, and as we saw from Darko, also other games. And Manashne facing right, saving his frames. Darko with a very patriotic dancer with something. Yeah, that's what we got. We're gonna have trouble seeing some of the credit times, but we do get to see this small dancing child in an American flag looking thing. So kawaii. But Manashne this time turning off screw attack before taking the damage. Set up for that Zeb skip just fine, getting it there before having to freeze the Rinka again. So we'll give him the first try. And no. Fingers crossed for Manashne finishing his 2017 Super Metroid Item Randomizer Tournament experience strong. I hope for a great Mother Brain here, and a nice escape from Manashne. He's a friend of mine personally, and I can say he's been putting a lot of work into this game. Just picked it up in February, and you know that he's able to play it at this level. He's you know, really come a long way very quickly with it. So you know, big props to him for just all the accomplishments he's made I know he's recently knocked out like a 55-minute any percent and is working on grinding that down. He's working for the sub 130 100% and is doing some other categories with the item randomizers. So yeah, props to him for just doing so great in these races, giving us great races along with Darko, who, big congrats on the win. Great to see him moving on to face Alucard 2004. And thanks to Darko for showing us some Super Mario Bros. 2 and Street Fighter skills as well. Yeah, these guys have given us such a good 3-game series. There have been so many good 3-game series in this tournament, and this is one right up there with any of them. 2 runners of comparable skill at the randomizer, just gutting it out for 3 games in a row. It's been a joy to watch, and shout out to these guys for doing such a good job with it. They've had a really long night for gutting out these races, especially with how grindy some of these seeds have been and some of the hardships they've faced with the deaths and just the nasty item placement. But Manashne with a pretty clean angle up Mother Brain 3 there, making his way out, gonna get a sub 120 despite an almost 20-minute death. Obviously this isn't how it works, but take 18 minutes off of this, and that 102 would have been the best time that any runner put up in this 3-game set. So obviously, there's some logical fallacies there, but still a really nice run from Manashne, and a big old ring of Pog Champs from Darko. And yeah, big ups to everyone for the follows to both runners. Darko presumably having disabled the alerts, Manashne keeping the alerts up. Exactly, I didn't know 11. I mean, he had full information about the 18 minutes of the race that he had already done, etc. But it remains, coming back in after taking a death back to, essentially Ceres skip, that both runners nailed, by the way, and redoing the game plus 18 minutes. Like, having that hanging over your head for almost an hour while you don't know where your opponent is, that is, it takes something, and he did a good job with it. So, Kiddly, if you're honestly asking, the Ceres skip is more of a meme. Ceres Station has been removed from the randomizer. GG to Manashne. Congratulations to him on a really nice finish in this tournament. Really put up some good races. It takes something, and he did a good job with it. But yeah, shoutouts to Darko and Manashne. Great games. Darko will be moving on 2-1 with a winning match result to face Alucard 2004. But I will hang around for a couple minutes, see if either of the runners wants to come in for an interview. Manashne, if you're now in the stream, I encourage you, do watch it back. There was lots of meme to go around. Good game. No, really nice races. That 18-minute death was pretty rough. But, yeah, I mean, you knew you had enough health to make it to Croc. You knew it was barely. And, you know, you ended up on the wrong side of that heated room. But it was a very, very good effort. I can commentate barely one race at the same time. It's a skill I don't have. But I try. So hopefully the robot me that showed up at the beginning of the first race stayed away for the rest of race 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, if there were 4 screens up, like folks who can do the two 1v1 matches, oh man, yeah, let me multi-twitch that a link to the past Rando Weekly, the open or the standard. I barely have the knowledge I need to perform a link to the past randomizers, and perform them badly. But yeah, you give me more than like 2 or 3 screens to watch, and I'm just going to start spouting something about one of the screens, and I'm going to miss stuff. It's going to turn into a complete train wreck. But seriously, follow Speed Gaming, follow Manashne, follow Darko, follow Speed Gaming 2, follow Feasel, follow the tracker Wumpus, follow also DYT Mook, follow Christofalo. Don't follow me. I just talk at my computer a lot. It's very unexciting. I play Super Metroid moderately at best. But I do have races tomorrow at 3 p.m. versus Karen, so follow Karen. Karen's awesome, and she's going to teach me what it means to randomize Super Metroid. Yeah, Manashne with the 28% to Darko's 39, saving 77 seconds in item fanfare, just not quite enough. Yeah, it's absolutely reverse psychology, Sephi. But no, really. Yeah, Sephi is commentating the Karen's race tomorrow, and it is going to be, I believe I'll steal this from Sephi, it's going to be litty. It's going to be super, super litty. That, she's not going to teach me how to Dougie. She might. She could probably teach me a whole lot. But mostly she's going to school me at Super Metroid Randomizer, and it's going to be a blast. So I've got my fingers crossed, and I can at least take it to 3 games. So yeah, with that, I think the runners have had ample time to hit the Discord for an interview if they wish. So I think that Darko and Manashne have opted out. Good luck to Darko against Alucard 4, and GG to Manashne. Congratulations on a really great tournament. I'm sure we'll be seeing some great Super Metroid from him in the future. And I know he's also getting a stream upgrade. He's super hype. He's getting an OSSC. So that's going to be big things coming for him. So yeah, follow both the runners. And have a great night. Thank you for hanging out. And I will see everyone tomorrow.